Hi, welcome to the 2023 end of the year retrospective, which I guess this is now an annual thing that I'm gonna do, so sure. This is where I look back at the year as a whole and the accomplishments and whatnot were that we faced. I don't know how to start this off, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and admit that. 2023, I feel, has been the biggest year for the channel so far. I didn't acknowledge it much. I don't think I acknowledged it at all once until now, until the very end of the year, but this year marked the 5-year anniversary of me starting YouTube, like me making YouTube videos and me starting my YouTube career. So that's a big thing that I just did not acknowledge at all. Earlier this year, I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is something that's just, it's still crazy to me that I managed to, I know that might not seem like a lot, but to me it is a lot. Whenever you're starting off, small and whatnot, obviously you're gonna be well aware of YouTubers that have millions and millions of subscribers, Mr. Beast and PewDiePie and whatnot. But even with those in mind, it's it still feels crazy to have 1,000 subscribers, to have 1,000 people that watch and enjoy your content. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed, everyone who has stuck along for the journey. There was a lot of videos that I uploaded this year. I made a lot of videos this year. I'm proud of almost all of them. I'm proud of how they turned out, and I hope you managed to enjoy almost all of them. It's just crazy to me that this year is already almost over. I know this seems like a very cliche thing, but I'm just gonna say it. It's just I swear, it's still March, April, whatever. We're still early into 2023, and now we're already at the very end. I feel like every year since 2020, since the pandemic, has just gone by extremely fast. Late 2022 still feels very fresh in my head, November, December 2022, it still feels fresh in my head. It feels like that was just yesterday, and now it's that's already over a year old, and now we're about to enter 2024. And then it hits even harder when you realize 2013 was 10 years ago. And I'm not even gonna lie, throughout most of this year I started feeling a lot of melancholy, nostalgia over the fact that a lot of stuff from 2013 this year that still feels fresh to me. And now it's a full decade has passed since then. Here's a story. I don't know if it's a funny story or not, but it's a story. Back around 2017, I had a huge, intense nostalgia for the late 2000s. Between 2007 to 2009, I don't know what it was, but I was just really nostalgic for that time period. It was hard for me to fathom that whatever pop culture thing from 2007 was now 10 years old. It was just hard for me to comprehend that Ratatouille and Halo 3 and whatever, Spider-Man 3, those are now 10 years old. And I remember I would just think to myself, take me back. I miss this time. This was a better time, And now it's a completely different thing, because now it's now I'm nostalgic for 2017. So now it's f***ing Inception or something, where it's I'm nostalgic for a time period where I felt heavily nostalgic. It's a weird thing. There's a huge difference for this though, because I was born in the early 2000s, so naturally it's 2007. My memories of 2007 would be very vague and not concrete, but then 2013, it's I do remember quite a bit about 2013. I remember hearing stuff what was popular and whatever without actually acknowledging it. I'm aware there's a lot of stuff from 2013 that's I'm obviously too young. I was obviously too young to watch it or anything like that, but now that I'm old enough to watch it and whatever and understand it still feels surreal to me that now it's a full decade had passed since their release. I think about stuff like Daft Punk's final album is 10 years old now. Get Lucky, which I'd say is one of the best pop songs of the 2010s, if not of all time. That's 10 years old now. Breaking Bad ended 10 years ago. GTA 5 was released 10 years ago. The Wolf of Wall Street was released 10 years ago. You know, it's stuff like that. The DCEU began 10 years ago, for better or worse. It's stuff like that that just like it hits me, you know? Because I remember when I was young and I would see like all this stuff, like obviously like maybe Daft Punk is the only thing here that's like it's age appropriate. I don't know. But I do remember seeing, you know, people talking about like Wolf of Wall Street is obviously not a movie for kids, but like I remember like seeing people talk about it quite a bit throughout like late 2013, early 2014. It was like this hugely popular, like acclaimed movie. So now that I'm old enough to watch it and like really appreciate it as like a masterpiece of a movie, it's like it's surreal to me that like now it's like a full decade old. This movie that I remember seeing all the grown-ups making a big deal about. GTA 5 turning 10 in particular hit me like extra hard more than anything else. The idea that like this game is now like a full decade old and I still play it a lot. It still has like it stood the test of time. It's still a beloved game even if it has like wore out its welcome a bit. It's still seen as like a modern gaming classic, one of the defining games of the 2010s decade. And I think this is where I'm going to lead into the next part, something that I'm going to just go ahead and discuss, something that I cannot make a video talking about 2023 for me without bringing this up. I made an entire video talking about this where I go into more detail about this, but in late 2019, I joined a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate dedicated community on Twitter, the First Smash community as it's called. Basically, it's full of these accounts that want to see different characters, like gaming characters and whatnot, join Super Smash Bros. As like a future potential fighter and whatever. So you got like Crash Bandicoot for Smash, Rayman for Smash, you know, Waluigi for Smash, stuff like that. Harmless stuff, nothing wrong with that at all. I joined it wanting to see a Grand Theft Auto character in the game in Super Smash Bros. This was back in late 2019, and throughout 2020 and 2021, I had gotten a lot of crap from Rockstar Games, the developers behind GTA. It all culminated in late 2021 when I received a 1-2 combo of Sora from Kingdom Hearts being the last Smash Ultimate DLC fighter, and the GTA trilogy, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, all getting an awful remaster on modern consoles. Now, if I should have just ignored all this and be like, yeah, I would have been disappointed, but like I wouldn't make a big deal about it, but I made a big deal about it, regretfully. I started hating on like these other people in the First Smash community for something super stupid, something that like they had no control over, something that they did not cause at all. It wasn't their fault that Sora made it in, or like GTA got a bad remaster or whatever. It wasn't their fault at all, and I treated it like it was, and I regret that immensely. I acknowledge that like this is a stupid thing, so like, you know, maybe like there's people that can look at this as like a funny thing, and like, you know, there's a small part of me that wants to embrace how stupid this whole thing is and like how over dramatic I was over a minor thing, but the regret that I feel kind of prevents me from feeling that way, and for the most part I'm not really able to laugh at this whole thing. I made a huge mistake earlier this year where I made 4 videos, yes, 4 videos, quote unquote, exposing this community for like quote unquote not helping me out and whatnot. These were trash videos. I don't know what I was thinking when I made these videos. They're awful videos. I've taken them down, and I wish I never made them. I go into more detail in the video that I made, so you can check that out if you want. I hate these videos. I think these are like the worst videos I've ever made, and if I could go back in time, I would just prevent them from getting made. It's just it's crazy. Like the first video that I made was like an hour long, and like during the production of that video, when I was making it, not once did I like stop and think, maybe I shouldn't make this, maybe I'm going too far. Not once did I do that somehow. Those videos remind me of there's this guy I watched that like he does live streams where he looks at like weird people on YouTube, and like one of the guys that one of the people he looked at is this like cartoon YouTuber, I guess. I don't know. He's British, and he has like this huge obsession with like Mario, Rosalina specifically. And he has like a bunch of these videos talking about like Modern Family Guy and Batman and Robin and whatever, and like why they're bad, as if, like it's kind of redundant to hate on them nowadays. Like why would you hate on Modern Family Guy now in this day and age? It's redundant, but that's beside the point. And he clearly has like some sort of like anger issues, like temper problems, and it's like sometimes they're kind of funny because of that. Like his videos are kind of funny because of that, and then other times it's like I'm kind of concerned for him. Actually, I'm concerned for his well-being. And he made this like 2-hour video. He took it down, but there's like re-uploads of it online where he gets like extremely angry at these 3 kids who have done like nothing wrong at all, not to my knowledge. And he refers to them as like, heartless villains or some like that. I don't know. And I don't even know if I can compare the first Smash videos I made to that video, but I'm just doing it because I feel like there's a lot of similarities and also a lot of differences. I don't know. They're both trash. That's really all that matters. I don't remember the name of the guy, but like you probably know him. I don't know. But like that's what those for Smash videos remind me of, and I wish I never made them, and I regret making them. Throughout the latter half of this year, I felt very depressed with myself. I felt very insecure. I started questioning if I was a good person or not. Whenever I would go out in public, whenever I would go to like family gatherings or whatever, I would just like, I sat there in silence thinking to myself, I shouldn't be with these people. I did not feel like comfortable with myself or who I was. I felt very insecure like making videos because I didn't know like, I didn't know like would people like the videos. I just felt insecure over the quality of my videos. The idea that someone could come across these videos and then I would just become a laughing stock. It doesn't matter what I would do or say. It doesn't matter what. I would become a joke, basically. This thing that I'm extremely passionate about, it would just be like ruined just like that because of 4 videos that I regret, and I just did not want that to happen. I don't blame anyone that unsubscribed and like stopped liking my content because of those videos. I'm not saying that in the hopes of like, oh, they're gonna see that I apologize and so they're gonna start liking my content again. And like, no. If they still choose to not watch me, that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna do anything about it. There's literally nothing I can do about it at all. There were moments where like I would just break down into tears. Like I would just start crying, thinking about like everything that I did to these random people over a stupid video game. In the 2020 video, I talked about how like 2022 was the worst year of my life, and I'm not sure how 2023 compares. There's some aspects where it's better, and then there's other aspects where it's worse. I feel like it's worse in a way because I felt genuinely depressed throughout this year, like throughout the latter half of it, which I don't think I felt depressed in 2022, and if it was like, me being whiny over a stupid video game and not like actual like serious depression. At the same time though, I would say that 2023 was a better year just because like I learned my lesson and I learned my mistake, and now I know to not repeat it again, to not do this stuff again. And I've managed to apologize to these people, and now we're on good terms now. And at this point, I'd rather have like the whole GTA and Smash thing just be like a stupid pipe dream that I don't make a big deal about. I remember I wanted to make a video talking about the GTA 6 trailer and how it was like I was so happy that we finally got it, but that video never came about. I am not proud of the Kingdom Hearts or GTA videos that I made last year in 2022. Well, actually this year as well, because I made videos talking about like Kingdom Hearts 2 this year, and I don't like these videos at all. I cannot ignore the thinly veiled bad intentions behind these videos. These videos were made because I hated these people at the time. I hated the For Smash community at the time. I have valid reasons to hate Kingdom Hearts, and my criticisms for Rockstar were justified at the time, even though GTA 6 has essentially made up for every single one of them. But even then, I cannot ignore the kind of subtle bad intentions behind these videos. At some point for the beginning of 2024, as one of the first videos of the year, I was gonna make a video on Kingdom Hearts 3. I was gonna actually play Kingdom Hearts 3 and, decide, make a video on it talking about if I like the game, if I hate it, if it's better or worse than the first two games. The first two games being games that I don't like very much, to put it bluntly. But I decided at the end it's not worth it. It's not worth playing this game and like suffering like a potential relapse. It's not worth taking that risk and having like a relapse happen because I decided to give this game a chance. And I've heard this game is a lot more mixed. Like, people that love these games, they think that this game is like mixed, underwhelming, disappointing, not that good. I don't know if there's anyone that really considers it a bad game per se, but it's not like an acclaimed game like the first two. Speaking of videos for 2024, I have a lot of videos planned for the year. I have a lot of search for the worst cartoon videos planned. I've got a lot of real great videos planned for that. It was decided in a poll that I held recently that the next search for the worst cartoon will be on the problem solvers, which, well, that ought to be a fun experience, I'm just gonna say. But yeah, I got a lot of search for the worst cartoon videos planned. I think it's become kind of obvious that search for the worst cartoon is like the main thing that I wish to focus on with this channel. I also plan on doing a lot more lost media videos. I know I only made one video in 2023, but I can assure you I have not forgotten about the lost media videos. You guys enjoyed the first video that I made, so I will make more videos. It's just that I've been busy with other video ideas and I didn't have enough time to like make another lost media video, but I do have more lost media videos planned. I have a video for the Little Salmon Cat Show planned. This might be the first video I make of 2024. It's this big, comprehensive like video talking about my search efforts for the Little Salmon Cat Show. It's not going to be like the 5 videos that I've already made stitched together. It's going to be a brand new video made from scratch, made from the ground up. That might be the first video I make of 2024. I'm not sure, but that is a video that I have planned. I just want to make like a definitive, comprehensive like video talking about my search attempts for this crappy, obscure Nickelodeon web series that I am weirdly fascinated with for some reason. I also brought this up in the top 5 worst movies of 2023 video, but I might also make a video talking about why the phrase animation is cinema like no longer means anything to me, and why the mentality of like animation is cinema honestly makes me cringe now. It's so weird looking at like how I was at the beginning of the year and then like looking at how I am now at the end, where it's like at the beginning of this year I was preaching around, animation is cinema. If it's not from Disney, then it's automatically good. Every animation studio is good except Disney. And now here I am kind of cringing at that, acknowledging, Disney is bad, but like that doesn't mean like every other animation studio is perfect. Like the Mario movie, I remember parading around as being like, animation is cinema, animation is not a genre for kids, blah blah blah. I paraded it around as one of those movies, and yet something tells me if I sit down and rewatch the Mario movie, it's not gonna be as good as I initially remember it being. It's not gonna be as good the second time around. I don't know if it's gonna be necessarily bad, but something tells me I'm gonna start seeing more flaws in it at some point. Oh yeah, while we're at it, I'm just gonna say this right now. I wanted to make this video sometime this year, but I guess that's gonna have to be sometime in 2024. The 1993 Mario movie is actually good, and I'm tired of people saying it's bad. That's a video I gotta make. I gotta make a video talking about the 1993 Mario movie and how it's actually a amazing movie, real cinema, one of the greatest movies ever made, a movie that would make Martin Scorsese shed a tear, that sort of thing. That's a video that's gotta happen at some point in early 2024. I also said in the worst movies of 2023 list that I've grown burnt out now talking about Loud House. You know, I admit that the video I made on the Christmas and Halloween movies, they were rushed, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to make a video on the Netflix movie, the animated movie, or the really Loud House, because at this point it's like, what is there for me to say about it? If it'll probably be like an extremely long time before I make videos on those. And apparently there's getting the Casa Grandes are getting a movie, because of course they are. Gotta milk the cash cow, y'all. It's ridiculous, man. If they make like a live action Casa Grandes or whatever, then like that's how you know that they've crossed the line. If they do that, I don't know if that's like something that's gonna happen. I don't know if videos on those two things are gonna happen, but don't take it in. It could happen. It could not happen. I don't know. Only time will tell. But right now, that's not on my main like schedule. I also plan at some point to remake the B movie video and the Attack of the Toy Bots video and have them use like my real voice instead of the text to speech. It's crazy how like throughout like the last year I started becoming more comfortable with using my real voice instead of text-to-speech, and it's like, I look at like my really old videos where I use my real voice, and it's like, it's crazy, like the improvements. Like I made this Johnny Test video back in 2018. It is one of the cringiest things I've ever like seen. I don't know, like everyone starts off awkwardly, okay? Nobody starts off perfectly, but like Jesus, that video embarrasses me. It makes me cringe just thinking about it. At some point as well, I don't know when this will happen, but I might make a video showcasing my Search for the Worst Cartoon DVD collection. Over the course of the year, I've taken it upon myself to buy DVDs and whatnot, home media, for some of the cartoons that I've looked at on the Search for the Worst Cartoon, and I might make videos showing them off, because these are like, some of these aren't really like documented on YouTube, and some of these are like kind of rare, so I think it would be a fun thing to like show these off in a video, but I'm not sure. That'll have to be like in the future. I unfortunately do not own the Nut Shack on DVD. That is the holy grail to me, alright? I would do anything to get the Nut Shack on DVD. That is the holy grail for me right there. I don't think I can make a Search for the Worst Cartoon DVD collection video without the Nut Shack on DVD, but unfortunately it's extremely rare, and there's like almost no chance I'll ever get it, which greatly disappoints me, I'm not gonna lie. So those are just some of the videos that I have planned for 2024. I've got a lot of videos in mind, and I'm hoping that like this 2024 could be like a great year for the channel, an even better year. 2023, the best way to describe it was a year of highs and lows. The highs were really high and the lows were really low. It was a roller coaster basically, and I really hope that things get better for the new year. I think that they will. I strongly feel like things could get better. So yeah, that's basically all I've got to say here. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like, and if you're new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing, as it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all have a happy new year. I'll see you in 2024. Adios.